Good afternoon, everyone. Hope your 4th of July went well. Hey, welcome aboard Flying with Mike. We are sitting on the ground where we left off with FedEx Express Virtual uh, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. However, we're not at DFW. We're at their regional hub out in Fort Worth called, well, we'll call it Fort Worth Airport. It's the Perot Regional, a whole name to it. But let's just keep it simple, the Alliance Fort Worth Airport. Hope you can enjoy this flight. We're headed to Mexico. We need, after all of the reveille and celebrating a 250 years, it's siesta time. So we're headed to Mexico. And I hope you enjoy the flight. We are in the Flight Factor 757 200 freighter RF, I think its actual designation. I think that's a Flight Factor thing, but hey, who cares? It is the freighter version. And if you're interested here on Twitch in this aircraft, I'm giving you the link to what I purchased, which was the Boeing 757 version 2 professional extended version. It's just about $100, so just to warn you. But it's, so far I really haven't found much to, if I don't even know if I've had anything to complain about until I finally get in, look up what my issue is, and I go, oh, now that makes sense. So, and we find that with a lot of aircraft, when you really boil them down, if the documentation is on point, then you're in for a good purchase. It's when their lack of documentation comes into play. That's when it's time to get real scary spending that kind of dough on this. So I hope you enjoy the flight. Again, I hope you enjoyed the celebrations, but today is a day of rest because we go back to work tomorrow. So now you're gonna find some things here when we get into the cockpit a little different than the last two flights. That boils down to right here, power plant. What are you flying? Now, going through the Flight Factor Discord, many people were disgruntled. They couldn't find switches. We'll point them out to you. Don't expect this to be a tutorial, but instructional. With a lot of coughing. No, just kidding. It's been that way for a couple of weeks. All right, so, and the weather has really taken a turn here in St. Louis. The storm, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you weren't on our last stream, I took a break to get some water or maybe a little snack, can't remember, and we had a lightning bolt strike very close by. I even had to call the wife, make sure everyone was okay, because they were at a swim party over at her sister's. And yeah, even an inbound airline flight to my old airport did a go around. My guess, wind shear. But who knows? Maybe it scared up the birds and they went, okay, we'll try again. But anyway, what a day yesterday was, leading to, while it's not back to a couple weeks ago where it was really comfortable for summer, that humidity has edged off a little. And we picked up some pretty good wind last night. It actually got chilly. So kind of felt like if you ever been to a desert city like Vegas or something like that, when the sun goes down, you almost need a parka after 120 degrees. That's really scary how cold it can get real quick sometimes. And even though the temperature is hovering up in the 80, 90 degree range out in Vegas, we experienced that several years ago when we traveled there. So yeah, it's weird. But if you've ever been to a desert city, you'll know what I mean. When that sun goes down, clear sky, heat just goes away. All right, well, we're in Dallas, Fort Worth. We're close to the desert. Definitely, though, not a desert city. A very thriving, populated area. However, if you get about 50 to 100 miles west of here, oh, start looking for John Wayne moving the cattle in a cattle drive. So, I mean, it gets barren pretty quick. So, all right. You're not here to hear me chat. So let's get into playing and see what we're doing. First off, let's take a look outside here. Again, Rolls-Royce engines this time, not Pratt Whitney. I believe the entire FedEx fleet is Rolls-Royce. I don't think they have Pratt Whitneys. Could be, something someone can fact check me on. Unlike Northwest, which is all Pratt Whitney when they were around. TWA, I think, also had all Rolls-Royce. Again, I could be wrong. So, but it's a beautiful plane. Many nickname it the pencil, especially the Dash 300 version. Folks, if you've ever seen the Dash 300, you thought an Airbus 321 was long? Holy mackerel. When I first saw one up close and personal, you just kind of look back and go, where does the airplane end? Well, the 200's not far off of that. So it did acquire the nickname the pencil and also the Ferrari of airlines because the sucker could climb. So nowadays there's a lot of issues. Several airlines have retired them. And of course, cargo and other airlines are gobbling them up. So, but it's really a sleek. You can just tell it's built for speed. Not supersonic, but it's built for good climb and good cruising speeds. So now the flight factor, I think, pretty well represents that. So we're in November 920 Fox Delta for FedEx. I forget the name of it. We could zoom in and check it, but they actually do name theirs like Pan Am called their Clippers by names. So with that, now there's a couple things you need to know, or you will be a little disappointed. You do have to have certain pieces of equipment in place to load it. I know there's some people out there, and I've ran into a few who do not like that. They like to just keep it closed up, go, fly, be done, be gone. Hey, that's fine. That's everyone's different when it comes to flight simming. Everyone's different in every other place. Believe me, this guy is going through that big time and trying, 61 years old. You think I'd have learned that many years back, but the older you get, the more set, and you think, well, everyone else should do it this way because it works. Everyone else, kind of, if you remember math classes, you had to show your work because you may end up at the same answer, but went a whole different way. And the teacher wanted to see how you did it and how you luckily got on the answer because, of course, his way's the right way. But anyway, so yeah, we're all different in how we view the flight sim and the world in general. So always keep that in mind. So you have to have the staircase you see here. You have to have the loader hooked up. Now I'll show you how to get a hold of these things. You also have to have the luggage loaders and the fuel truck at a minimum, and respective doors open. so you can receive the aircrew, cargo, and fuel. Well, you're not going to open the fuel receptacles, but everything else you can open up. Now, how do you do that? All right, we're going to do it from here. Now, from here, we'll go to plugins, 757, 767 EFB. These aircraft, like in the real world, are very similar in the flight sim world. There's a lot of similarity between the two. Of course, the big difference being the 767's a wide body aircraft, where the 57 is a narrow body. What makes a wide body, some ask? You got a middle aisle for seating. May only be 2 seats, 2 seats wide, but it's still, you got a left side, a right side, and seats in the middle. And you can go down either side of those rows. There's a few others, but they're the big ones. Also, most wide bodies will come under heavy call sign, but so did this guy. Yeah, there were times they called them heavy. So I don't know if that ever turned into the general practice or not. But when they came out, it all depended on the weight if they would be called heavy or not. Yeah, I know. That's what the term heavy means there, Captain, and it's your weight. But no, seriously, your weight was what the aircraft's weight really was determined if the heavy call sign got added to your rest of your call sign. All right. So again, like I said, we got the stairs, the chocks, the LSU, luggage loaders. Okay, GPU, ground power. We've got that on, so we have power on the plane, fuel truck, ACU, and loader. And then you go to ops, airplane, and you can open up all the doors or close all the doors once you're done. Let's get in the cockpit. Cool. All right. Now, you're looking at a pretty standard 757, not the modern avionics. I didn't go that route. But you're looking at pretty what it was back when they came out. All right. I've already powered the plane up to the point where we can add the cargo. And that's the other tricky part to this plane. All right, we'll bring that up here and again in just a moment. But just giving you a quick glance at what's needed. Okay, now remember on the Pratt Whitney, we didn't have electric engine controllers. They're here on the Rolls-Royce. Don't shoot the messenger here. That's flight factor. I don't know if that's real world or not. Never been up in the cockpit as I know of the different engine versions. The other thing you're going to see in the checklist, which is in documentation in the aircraft folder. All right. Engine limiter. That is also not on the Pratt Whitney. It is on the Rolls-Royce. All right, hang on. Click, click, and click. Let's get this thing cooling down a little bit. All right. Okay. And let's see what else. Oh, and both versions have a switch that really caught me off guard where it was. Hang on, let me give you the terminology. The power transfer unit. Confirm off and guarded. All right, if you look behind the first officer. Whoop, went too high. Sorry, folks. PTU right here. So that's where you'll find it. Kind of an odd spot. especially for a two-man crew. Nonetheless, there you have it. And you can see other things here too that could come into play in different scenarios. All right. Like I said, we are powered up. We've got our route loaded already. We are not in the performance area because we haven't loaded anything yet. That's where I've been kind of leading to the next welcome to Flight Factor quirk. If you have the 767, you know that they have a standard weight for each pallet loaded on the plane. Same philosophy on the 757, just a lower number. And don't expect to be able to load the plane front to back. What do I mean? Let's go back to ops ground. That means fill in all of these and all of these. Technically, you will never fill the plane that heavy. Now, am I going to tell you in the real world it isn't? Of course not. It is full sometimes with empty pallets, full of, a whole lot of, it's full, especially this plane. FedEx really loves this aircraft. It does an amazing job for them. All their aircraft do, but this one can haul a lot for a pretty good, it's not like the 727, you load her up to the brim with cargo. She isn't going to fly as far as you think. This one will, and that's where FedEx likes these. So how do you determine that number that I was just telling you about? Very simple. Go to pallet. First off, what I recommend, grab your zero fuel weight number right now, 117,500 or whatever it is in kilograms if you go to that dastardly side of the house. And I only say that just for me and just because I really hate kilograms. It has bit me a couple of times when I used to drive over the road. So I don't like kilograms. I'm sure I could get used to it, but at 61 years old, why should I? No, just kidding. I know, teach an old dog a new trick. Literally. All right, so what I do is I come here and just put a 1. Zero out the cargo weight. You are not telling it how much weight per pallet by your cargo weight. Okay, that's totally different. So 0. So we just added 3,840 pounds to the zero fuel weight. That's what each pallet will weigh that you load into this plane. So if I put 10 pallets, there'll be 10 pallets that each pallet's weighing 3,840 pounds. Okay, now whatever's left over in your sim brief for zero fuel weight, that goes in your cargo weight. All right, so let's talk the flight real quick here. So what are we planning to load? And let's see if I got it right. Okay, we'll go to Elevatech. And I've got it zoomed in only just to give us an idea, 1. And this is actually a good idea if you're flying on VATSIM. Before, get your plane set, ready to go, but before you connect to VATSIM, or if you want to do it before you get the plane ready, whatever, check. Is there somebody in your spot? Be respectful and move to an open spot. Don't be that one that has to load in on top of them thinking, oh, look at how funny that is. Because I'm not going to move. Might even, on VATSIM, report it to a supervisor. So, just friendly warning. All right, so let's look at it here. So we're going to pull up our initial data. Hour 22 minutes down to Monterrey, Mexico. And folks, we're not going very far into Mexico. You know, we've got ATC currently in Fort Worth Center and Houston Center. Pretty much when Houston says over to Unicom, we'll probably or very shortly thereafter start our descent into Monterey. We're that close. So it's an hour, 22-minute flight, 555 miles. We'll be flying at a cost index of 73 at flight level 360. All right, here is, let's see if they first match up. I did not do that yet. Oh, they do. 166 as 502 is what SimBrief says. And hang on, I'm going to check the plane. Hang on, I don't have it loaded up yet, so that's what we're shooting for. Good shooting there, Tex. So we'll get to this here in just a second. Fuel will be blocking. Whoa, that's a 23,824. What did FedEx want us at? 23,7. Okay, 100 extra pounds. Okay, they're not gonna crucify me. So, all right. And once we get our call, our game plan is one of the two 1.6s here. We're planned for the right side. Either one works because our departure goes, "Hey, Sergeant Yash, welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy this flight to Mexico." So, let's see here. Hang on a second. And away with that. Wait a minute. Did Fort Worth stay up? Oh, yeah, they did. For a second there, I'm like, wait a minute, something doesn't look right. Oh, there we go. There's the green lines. Okay. Now, there is some weather in and around the Fort Worth area. So now, how do we figure up how many pallets? You take that number two ways. Whatever your payload is, in this case, 36,570 pounds. Hang on a second. I just realized something I did not do. I'm sure it's come up already at least once, maybe twice. Okay, there we go. You're going to Mexico. Cool. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so getting back to the flight here. So we are going to have 9 pallets. If you do the math of what the zero fuel weight should be minus the empty zero fuel weight, first off should be the payload weight, and then divide it by 3,840 pounds. So like I said, 9.5 pallets. You said, oh, wait a minute, you put just 9 in there. Correct. Let's see how close we are, because I'm now a little concerned. All right, the difference here is our empty weights. That's what's coming down to. We're going to have another pallet at least. Let's go 10. Let's go. Well, you know what? I'm just going to cut this out. Wow, we're going to almost have all of it filled. Okay, so 163.5. I think that'll work. Okay. So we're going to take our estimate, which was 166.5.2 minus 163.580. Boy, there is a huge difference in empty weights. And we're going to be loading 2922 for the bulk. Think of it like bulk weight, just what's left over. Enter. And when we're done, that number for zero fuel weight should match your zero fuel weight on SimBrief. All right, now the most important thing to do here, click optimize. And what that'll do is just that, optimize the CG of the aircraft. Then I perform maintenance. And then we start. Oh, wait, we're not done yet. We got to put the fuel load in. And that is 23824. Okay, so we got 12 pounds. Wow, we're doing pretty good. 2,922 pounds, and we're at our zero fuel. Let's load it. Now, when this goes out, you are loaded. However, there is another way. I'm going to crank it up just a little bit on sound. And you're going to hear the sounds in the background. When that disappears, you're full. Or another check, when your fuel is roughly what you're putting in our case 23.8 is what should read here in the total area. All right, so while all of this is going on, you could be aligning your IRS, putting your route in, putting even your performance numbers in now. And then you'll be ready to go. Pratt PT6, welcome aboard. Thank you, sir. Pratt PT6, by the way, is on a current streak of 10 streams. He's been here for us. Thank you, sir. We much appreciate you. All right, and as I said, we're going to finish up the FMS stuff. Pretty cut dry. Now, one thing though, there is one thing, of course, always one more thing, as Columbo would say. If you're used to, and I'm going to use this one, coming in and being able to put your airport and all of that in here, make sure you're on PIP. How do you get to PIP? Go to Options, Avionics. PIP FMC will get you to what you're used to, most likely. And 833 kilohertz is not a bad thing to turn on either. The rest of it is up for you to go see what it does, what it looks like, and do for yourself. All right, back to the FMC. So we'll go to Perfit. Click. Click. Why are we getting invalid? Also, you can see your fuel here. Kind of curious if I have to wait for it to be loaded, which will be here pretty quickly. We're only about 1,800 pounds of fuel out. We'll see. Noticed how the sound just stopped abruptly Hang on, we'll click that out. We'll go back. Notice the loading is gone. We'll do maintenance one more time just to be safe. Now, will it let me? There, I guess I gotta wait for it to end. Okay, learned something. Hey, even the captain learned something today. That's a good day. We're looking at 12 for what we need in case for our reserve. And cruise today, I already forgot. It'll be 360. Cost index, we said 73. Y'all know this part. Now, the cruise wind, if you've got the 767, you know all of this because it's the same. And then I put it by altitude, even though that's geez, I haven't had to type a VSAM. Oh, I haven't had to type it out in years. So, compliments of these flight sims. Now we go to the takeoff page, hit the CG, go to the next page real quick. Oh, crud. Hang on. Let me get my takeoff weight. Fill in some information here. Okay. Now, if you have the comma in there, get rid of it in the weight. Okay. For the runway, we're looking at a down 0.5. So first off, runway wind. Da-da-da. Where are you, runway wind? Okay, let's try it. 0, 0, 0, diagonal 0. Okay, slope, we said down. Okay, so it's D 0.5 for this runway. Reference temperature outside, air temperature is 36 Celsius. Okay, then we come back. Now, for this takeoff, we are going to be derating TO1. You can't put TO1 in here, but you can take the number. Assumed temperature is 47 backslash DTO. That's all we can do. We'll set the one level over here on the panel. And we haven't put our flaps in yet, and that will be flaps 5. And then we'll turn on the reference speeds. They should be, what I'm going to be putting in should be higher than what you see. So 146, 148, 149. Okay. So 146. 8, 149. And so it doesn't screw you up, turn them off. Now, why were they different? Because SimBrief increased the speed on V1, rotate, and V2 for climb limits. And I'm kind of shocked, but, you know, hey. And we are looking at a barometer of 2999. Let's get that set. And you know what that means? We're done with the FMC and we're about ready to start things up. Not bad. Okay, the last steps we have here are right in front of us. We said 149. Let me check. Let's see. Distance, okay. All right, let's just finish up the checklist here real quick. EECs are maybe. There we go. EECs are not on. Always close that. Let's get the APU cranking. All right, which one went dark? That's the pump I turn on. And you're going to find they do a pretty good job with the 757 in all of the versions. Where the we haven't checked the 7.6 in a while since the update, but I don't think we have. But anyway, things are a little, you know, really fast in some of them, and really were really fast, really slow. Don't know because I haven't checked it here of late. But I think it's spooling up at a pretty good, realistic rate. And 100%. Okay, now the generator's on, but it is still on the external power. Now, when I click that button right next to it, right here, you're going to get a flicker. And I recommend you do this before you go to the EFB and deselect it. If you don't, many say, well, what tragic thing happens? You may have just lost all of your data in the FMC. Pretty significant, wouldn't you say? APU's on. We're off there, so now let's go down here, pull it up. You know what? I'm going to pull it from here and start getting rid of things because we're loaded. So the fuel truck can go, the loader can go, ACU, GPU. Now, if you'd have clicked that still connected, you could have had an issue. But you know, one thing I haven't tried is this is a little different methodology here. That APU gen switch, they have us turn on immediately. So once you do get to the APU, it should be ready and available. If that'll prevent it, I don't know. All right, APU's up and running. Lights are set, nose, wing, engine start switches, engine limiters are confirmed. Whoop, I went too far. Hang on, folks. RAM, okay, let's get back up here. RAM air, yes, works. What are we today, date-wise? The 5th, so we'll go to auto 1 and 1 there. Okay, doors closed and locked. Outflow valve. Oh, yeah, what's our landing altitude? 1276. All right, and we're still not under any kind of controller other than center that I know of. We'll double check that there is no Dallas approach. Nope. Okay, continuing on. Okay, so the landing altitude, we just put in logo lights on, and engine bleeds are on. And okay, left. Okay, now we can come down. Okay, flight directors on. Okay, we're not arming the auto throttle till we taxi. Runway 160's heading is that 166? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna just do a quick check here of our departure. Okay, we don't have any altitudes to climb up to, so what I'll do is leave it at 10,000 for now. And we'll hit cancel. Hang on a second, folks. Sorry, the dog was, believe, having a bad dream. Okay, altimeters are set, reserve brakes are set, and the auto brakes off. And I think we're ready to call, ready to go. Let's get down here to the transponder. We're set there. Frequency set for now. Okay, we're going to 35. 175. One 135, 175. All right, we're set, ready to go. Fort Worth traffic, FedEx 811 Heavy at Alliance, request clearance to Monterrey International, Mexico.
FedEx 811 Fort Worth Center, hello. Cleared to the Monterrey Airport via the Joe Pulley departure, San Antonio transition that's filed. I'll have maintain 3000, expect flight level 360, 10 minutes after departure. Departure with me, squawk 3062.
All right, FedEx 811 Heavy, cleared as filed, J-Pool. I believe it's number 8 to San Antonio. 3000 initially, flight level 360. 10 minutes after, I believe you said 3060 for the squawk, and departure with you, FedEx 811.
FedEx 811, the squawk is 3062. Everything else is correct.
All right. 3062 will go in the box, and we're ready to push and start.
FedEx 811, push your discretion. Call for taxi 16 left.
All right, we'll call for taxi, expecting 16 left, FedEx 811 Heavy. All right. Let me get that number in the...
Intentional aircraft, convective SIGMET 50 Charlie in effect until 2055 Zulu for Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma. Area of severe thunderstorms from 20 miles east southeast of Fort Smith, 20 miles north of El Dorado, to 40 miles east southeast of the Maverick VMR, to 40 miles south of Wichita Falls, extending to 50 west of Oklahoma City, back to Fort Smith. The area, severe thunderstorms moving from 300 at 15 knots, tops above level 450. Hail to 1 inch and wind gusts to 50 knots possible. Advise if you need any deviations to this frequency.
Okay, we're set, ready to go there. Outside. Just need the chocks and the air stair gone.
November 6 Letter 1 Tango Whiskey, radar contact, stay altitude, turn right heading to 090.
We are at 8,000 and right 090, 1 Tango Whiskey.
November 3 Charlie Whiskey to set of 18, 5,000.
Set of 5,000, good to drive Whiskey.
For 1 Tango Whiskey, call and maintain 17,000.
17,000, 1 Tango Whiskey.
American 2234, Houston Center's offline, radar service terminated, we'll see you.
Thank you, American 2234.
For 1 Tango Whiskey, call and maintain 17,000 and clear direct to Blico.
Clear direct Bleco up to 17,000.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Air Canada 794, cross Solo at 17,000, the Austin altimeter 29908.
Cross Soul at 17,000. Altimeter 998, Air Canada 7.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
And for November 3 Charlie Whiskey, proceed direct to Sorney, cross Sorney at or above 3,000, clear down April by 16 approach.
Clear direct Sorney, cross Sorney at or above 3,000, clear for the R916 to the Charlie Whiskey.
Delta 2583 to set of 18, 5,000.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
November 1 Tango Whiskey, call maintain level 320.
Level 320, 1 Tango Whiskey.
All right, fuel pumps coming on. Hydraulics are all on.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
And transponder as required. Clear left, right, AC packs to off. And here we go.
Here comes the pushback. Light 'em up.
583 heavy, descend and maintain 3000.
Descend, maintain 3000. What's up, thank you for the heavy. Hello, Santa, hello, this is version 240.
All right, we've got pressures coming up. We're just waiting for it to stable.
Fort Worth Center, hello, radar contact 35 miles to the north of the Childress COR.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake. And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Okay, let's all right, we got number 2
Runway 16, clear to land.
all ready to go.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
November 3 Charlie Whiskey, runway 16, clear to land. November 2-3 Charlie Whiskey, Fort Worth Center.
Forward Center United 2355, not sure if you heard us, but we are at F5 on the connector.
United 2355, affirmative, I have you.
Okay, we're good to go there. Engines are up and running. Okay, check our... One thing you definitely want to check is that your connection, gen connects here to left and right,
Charlie Whiskey, would you,
do not show any faults.
2-2 Charlie Whiskey, no worries, runway 16, clear to land.
16 clear land, speed Charlie Whiskey, thank you.
Don't try to correct anything by lifting these guards and pushing buttons. You'll have to shut it down otherwise. All right, let me go through here now. AC packs are on, hydraulics are set, bleeds are, bleed isolation off, APU,
Charlie Whiskey, could I get a wind check for Addison?
and trim.
For 3 Charlie Whiskey, it's common, Addison.
Roger, thank you.
3.8. That'll work. We're ready to taxi. Flaps to 5. Gauge is right here for those curious. There goes RTO set. And engine left, right to continues. Okay, everything. Just double check.
3366 Fort Worth Center, radar contact 40 miles northwest of the Childress COR, welcome.
Okay, flight controls.
248, descend via the Victory 2 arrival, DSW altimeter 2998.
And Fort Worth Center, FedEx 811 Heavy, ready to taxi 16 left.
Taxi 811 Heavy, runway 16 left, taxi via Hotel Alpha Mike.
Hotel Alpha Mike for FedEx 811 to hold short 16 left.
United 2355, descend via the Fever 4 arrival, DFW altimeter 299 8. Delta 2583, turn left heading on 220, descend on main, or 220 back to the final. Running 220 back to the final, that's 2583. United 2355, descend via the Fever 4 arrival, DFW altimeter 299 8.
All right, we're on our way. Hey, Sergeant Yash, welcome in again. You make it into Mexico yet?
Unit 2355,
Descend via the Fever 4 arrival.
descend via the Fever 4 arrival for 2355.
Air Canada 794, Houston's offline radar service terminated for continued critical there.
Thank you very much, sir. Good day.
Not made it yet, huh? I was flying the the SU-27, and it's a wonderful aircraft. Oh, look at you. uh, all right, taxi procedure, brakes, logo lights on, wing lights on, radar will come on once we're on the taxiway away from the majority of people. One thing I noticed with this plane, and I don't know if there's a hidden switch or what, but there is no terrain weather or terrain following radar on this aircraft.
November 1 Tango Whiskey, descend via the Tisdale 3 arrival, Oak City landing south below Rogers altimeter 3002.
302, land, send via the Tisdale 3 arrival, 1 Tango Whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know why. The 7.6 has the switch, but I don't
2583 DFW airport, gonna be 12
know if it's hidden or something I need to turn on or what.
2583 heavy clear visual approach from the center. Clear visual approach from 167.
Okay, armed. Okay. All right, let me run through this real quick. Flaps set 5, control check. Speed brakes down and not armed.
American 1756 Fort Worth Center, hello. Radar contact 32 miles north of the Children's VOR, welcome.
Isolation valve closed.
Frontier Flight 3366, descend by the Victory 2 arrival, DSW altimeter 299 8.
Trim, weight, speeds, FMC radios programmed. And we're ready to go.
17, descend via the P before arrival, DFW altimeter 29908.
North American 1980s out of 2.5, climbing via the train.
American 1980, Fort Worth Center, radar contact, climb maintain 17,000.
They're going on 7,000, American 1980.
The fighter handles the way you want it to, I see, Sergeant. Yeah. We want every aircraft to do what we tell them, almost by voice command. Although, don't get me wrong, that's coming soon. Sooner than I think we want, maybe before we drop the one-man cockpits in the airliners. Or nobody in the cockpit. I don't think I'll be around for that one. Some of you just might be.
Forward center, 23 Charlie Whiskey, disconnect, take your time.
Have a good one. United 2330, climb and maintain possible 340.
Okay, flight level 343, United 2330.
American 1980, climb maintain possible 350. American 1980, climb and maintain possible 350.
250, American 1980.
Fort Worth Center, FedEx 811, ready to go. 16 left at Mike.
FedEx 811, winds calm, flight runway heading, runway 16 left, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading, clear for takeoff. 16 left. FedEx 811 heavy.
Fort Worth Center, hello, American 849, 3,300 on the attack for direct Spirit.
American 849, Fort Worth Center, radar contact, climb maintain 17,000.
17,000, American 849.
Roof. We're airborne. Gear up.
Dive! 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 Dive!
American 849, climb maintain possible 370.
370, American 849.
370,
And Fort Worth Center, FedEx 811 Heavy, airborne through 3000 for... Why didn't we hold? Sorry.
FedEx 811, Fort Worth Center, radar contact, no worries, you can continue up to 5,000. Your radar contact off the departure. Verify your squawk in 3062.
Oh. We'll get 3062. Sorry about that.
American 1980.
American 1980.
You were the CPDLC by chance?
Funny you ask, I was actually just about to make a broadcast. Potential aircraft, if you do have CPDLC equipped in your airplane, I'm testing out a new system here. The logon code is KUSA.
What program do y'all use to get CPLC, DC, whatever it's called? That's in your plane. It should be depending on what plane you have.
If you're asking about the controller side, a controller in the VATUSA made a software to simulate it. It's not fully supported by VATUSA yet, but it's a third-party program and more people are using it lately.
Is there a video on YouTube to know how to set it up?
Control, good afternoon. This is Southwest 26, flight level 280, inbound Magic.
Southwest 26, Fort Worth Center, hello, radar contacts, about 80 miles southeast of the Cedar Creek VOR. Descend by the red and 4 arrival level, altimeter 2999er.
Yeah, I know, Sergeant Yash. I had it wrong. It was 3662. I somehow screwed it up. It's normal. And Fort Worth Center, FedEx 811 Heavy, level 5000, squawking 3062.
FedEx 811, thank you. Climb and maintain 17,000. Clear direct to Neil. Actually, clear direct to Waco.
All right, clear direct Waco. Continue to flight level 17,000, FedEx 811 Heavy. All right, let's go direct. Did he say Waco? Where's Waco at? Hang on. ACT, okay.
United 2355, I'm assuming you're parking at Terminal Echo?
Yeah, we can do that.
Roger, United 2355, expect to by 17 center.
17 center for 2355.
Virgin 248, expect visual approach 18 right.
Visual approach 18 right, Virgin 248. United 23 carrier, step out cockpit 10 minutes.
United 23, yeah, 2330, 10 minutes in the turn. Thanks, sir.
And we'll see how many people out there watch TV. We're direct where Chip and Joanne are. And I can call their name out because they're on TV. Wonder what kind of trouble he's getting into. But anyway, home improvement show, folks. So check it out. I think they actually have their own channel, Magnolia or something like that. But yeah, that's where they're based out of. All right, we're coming up on 10,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and kill the lights. FedEx 811 Heavy continuing to flight level 360. And Sergeant Yash, that is our final altitude. I don't see anyone impending an intercept on us. If you need the route we're on, I'll go ahead and shoot it over to you. We'll just do it this way. We're right now direct Alpha Charlie Tango. Up, you've got the route.
Center United 51, flight level 260.
As the commercial once said, do you also have the beer? Miller beer?
United 50. I'm sorry, who was that? United 50.
That was a U.S. commercial, so
United 51,
it may have gone worldwide.
southwest of Flushing.
And for Sierra November 119 Alpha Kilo, we're at flight level 320.
If I had the beer, I'd not be able to pilot. True. However, in the flight sim world, I'm in pajamas with a beer. Okay, granted, Diet Coke, but not in an airline uniform. Well, you're a one-man crew. Oh, there's a joke that could be said here that I've used many times. I will not do that.
I'm gonna assume that that kid is still keyed in.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, Lord,
Say it. C-130 crew came up on an F-16. The F-16 started auditioning for the Thunderbirds around them, looping and rolling and all that fun stuff, and said, boy, do you enjoy all of that? Can you do that? And he says, I could do one better. I went back to the bathroom. I had a hot meal back in the galley, walked the cargo deck, then came back here and sat and watched you finish up. Then I had a guy say that, and that was awesome. Oh, that was great. I mean, fighter pilots, don't get me wrong, get their due, but for a cargo plane, especially of a C-130, that's perfect. Yep. The fact that the F-16 was slow enough to be next to him's another good one. So, now C-130 can actually cruise pretty decently. Well, I'm glad to see the U.S. is finally coming to the world of CPDLC on VATSIM. I really didn't think they would after the battle many years ago from text to voice. Now they're going back. But then again, I haven't used CPDLC, so I don't know. Boy, it got real busy real quick. Ah, I see you there on VATS by Sergeant or Yash. He's busy. That's why I've kind of gotten kind of quiet so I don't miss a call. All right, FedEx 811 Heavy over to Unicom. Thanks for the great ATC. See ya. All right, folks. We're now free and clear until Houston comes back, if they come back. All right, we're off to Mexico. Monterrey, Mexico, to be exact. Mike Yankee, you're not seeing anything wrong in the title. And basically RNAV approach. So ought to be fun. But welcome aboard. We got, well, let's see here. Let me pop up here and turn that tracker on. There we go. And oh, I thought I turned it on. Oh boy, there we go. We're about 45 minutes out, so enjoy the climb out, enjoy the flight. Hang on a second, let me check the noise levels. Get it turned down a little bit in my ears. Whew. All right, let's see where you're hiding now on me. Ah, gonna try and intercept at Hooray. Gotcha. Okay, and since we're cargo, we'll go ahead and go to auto. And we'll continue the climb out. I hope y'all are enjoying. About 45 more minutes left in this flight, and we'll call it for the weekend. I'm going to kind of miss all the streaming we've been able to do. Compliments. My company gave me Friday off, so we took advantage and we had a stream that day. Of course, our normally scheduled flight on Saturday, and then you know, I'm not gonna say it's normal because I can't really pin a time down, but Sundays we do try to get up in the sky. And Sergeant Yash, thank you for the happy 4th. Yeah, it was a great day, and we had the our youngest daughter and not youngest granddaughter, but her daughter with us. And for 2 years old, she did pretty good with the fireworks. Don't get me wrong, I don't think she saw much of it because she had her face buried. But she did seeming to enjoy. Your hand flying at the moment. I'm letting auto do the work. And with that, I will be right back. Need to head back to that laboratory behind me and relieve myself. I know something fighter pilots have a hard time with. Be right back. All right, folks, back with you. All right, somebody's putting weather in front of us again. Let's see if that's actual weather or not. Nope, just clouds. All right, we're about 60 miles from San Antonio, or overflying San Antonio. And we've reached cruise. And how we doing on everything here? You know, the one thing we did not do, we did not set the gauge over here to take off 1. That's how you would do it, and then you can do climb 1 or 2 as well, and as you reach the right power settings, it'll wash into the next phase as it works its way through. So well, we'll get this down. It's been a while since we've had to do that. Let's take a look outside. Okay. You think you saw my strobes? Oh no. Let me see here. See who's around me. Well, I don't have anyone on TCAS. Well, let's take a look at the easiest one to read. Oh, you're up ahead of me. You're over San Antonio. As we begin to enter the metropolitan area of San Antone. Oh, I'm here to tell you of a place that has been, a city that has been growing over the years. When I drove over the road with the tractor trailer combo, well, I actually went to San Antonio in the Air Force for basic training. And yeah, those of you who've been in the Air Force in the U.S. go, duh. And it changed so much from what I saw of it, and I saw a good part of it from the 80s into the late, wait a minute, was it the late 90s? Mid to late 90s, and then again in the 2000s, early 2000s, hearing about amazing how much that city has grown. And amazing how many of the bases consolidated, closed in and around San Antonio. Just amazing. Sergeant Yash reporting it's VFR at the moment and clear and no clouds. Awesome. Yeah, from our vantage point, it's pretty well clear. But yeah, just an amazing city, San Antonio. That River Walk, I think it was called, downtown, amazing. So, yeah, I was pretty impressed in the 80s with San Antonio, let alone when I would come back 10 or 15 years later and just like, whoa, how much that city had exploded. It is just unreal how it's really become a big metropolitan area. Actually, down below, right in this area, looks like one of the air bases. I'm trying to make it out. It's that, unless that's San Antonio. I think that's San Antonio's commercial airport. Oh yeah, because there's Kelly right there. And Randolph is right, we just passed it. These are all right there. There was like 5 bases. Lackland has merged with Kelly. But yeah, it's just an amazing what went on there. I'll be honest, for the longest time, I didn't know Lackland had a flying wing. But then when the Cold War ended, kind of so did it. Other than training new recruits. All right, we're 30 minutes out of our destination airport in Mexico, Monterrey International. There's a much longer name to it. We're just going to stick with Monterrey. Most of the Mexican airports are named after a person. And the person isn't like a simple one-syllable name. Oh, it's like 10 syllables. No, I'm just kidding. But just they're huge names in length and trying to figure out how to pronounce them. So we'll just stick with Monterrey. That's what it used to be called, and that's really probably what most still know it as. Kind of like trying to call Las Vegas Harry Reid International. You're like, what? Let's keep it McCarran. Or better yet, Las Vegas International. I just call it Mexico Airport. That's a good one there, Sergeant. Yeah, I like that one. I like that. All right, but I hope y'all have had a fantastic weekend. Yeah, I know tomorrow marks the start of yet another work week. And I hope y'all either got a great rest, decompression, whatever, to get ready for the rest of July and August. If not, sit back, relax, enjoy, and decompress here on Flying with Mike. If you like what you see, like what you've heard, we'd love for you here on Twitch to click that follow button. If you're on YouTube watching this, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. And if you like the content, they actually have a thumbs up or down. We'd love to hear from you. You know, both actions are free. Both actions just let you know when we either go live on Twitch or a video gets posted on YouTube. I see you down there, Sergeant Yash, off of Laredo, headed towards Monterrey. And looking at VATSIM radar, I'm not seeing any weather between where I am and where we're about to meet up at there in Monterrey, Mexico. Let me check something here real quick. What are we, about 120 miles out? Okay, from top of descent. All right, let's set 464 for our, oh wait, wrong one, decision altitude. Ah, I see why I wasn't seeing traffic that well. You got to push this little button right on top that says TFC traffic. Oh well. Active runway I am showing as 12. If you need an altimeter, let me just pull up the METAR. 3002, and if you're in the HEPA world, 1016. Whoa. All of a sudden it's saying the ceiling is 800 feet. It did this to me one other time. I flew into this airport, and that's why I don't do it a lot. It dropped on me like that. Can I actually do 800 feet? Sure can. Wow. P's and Q's on this one. Oh. I'm being for real. Let me bring it up here if you're looking at it. Where's charts? There's charts. Just push the METAR button. And as of, well, that's 8 hours old. Are you for real here? "38 minutes ago, Say Intentions AI is saying 3,000 broken. Thank God, we'll take that any day. Temperature 34, dew point 20. And I was being for real, but that weather that was coming in on the METAR was 8 hours old. And you can tell, it tells you how old the data is right here. And I'm going to be shooting the RNAV, so there y'all get a good look at it. Oh, by the way, if y'all, when you sign on to VATSIM or do a flight plan, if you didn't notice, if you're flying, now granted, here it does matter. We're on CTAF here, and I'm going to go ahead and set that in at 118.1. But if you're flying in Australia, and I'm not certain where the boundary ends, they've got CTAF now. So be mindful. And if you're one that likes to follow the rules, then switch over to the CTAF channel. But yeah, let me click METAR. Let's see if it changed. 8 hours, 39 minutes ago, it was 800 feet broken. Wow. 4-mile visibility 8 hours ago. Incredible. Hey, by the way, news story. And I don't do a lot of the news stories out there, but this one kind of, I went, holy mackerel. Yesterday, I think it was, the Cardinals here of St. Louis were playing up in Chicago, and there was a delay in the game. Not because of rain, although that could have caused it. Not because of snow, not because of hail, not because of thunderstorms. Fog. Fog had rolled in and they couldn't see the ball. That, I think, is one of the first times I've ever heard of that delay. Fog. And with the kind of rains we've had all over our area, it's amazing. Hey, Stu22, welcome aboard. Thank you for the raid. I'm trying to see how many people. 9 people coming aboard. Welcome to Flying with Mike. We thank you so much for the raid. There, STW222. And for those new to the channel, I'm Captain Mike. I've been in the world of flight simming since about 1999, 2000. flying most of the Microsoft stuff back then. When the year 2020 came along, my old computer, well, just couldn't, the memory ran out. So I switched, and at the same time switched over to X-Plane. So you're seeing one of the few streamers out there, solid X-Plane. And we do welcome you aboard. Currently en route from Alliance Airport in Fort Worth to Monterrey International in Mexico, and about 65, 70 miles out of top of descent. Welcome aboard. And I hope STW222, you had a great stream. And we're just glad to have you all aboard. And for those curious, we are in the flight factor 757. Oh, flew the Starship from Choo Choo to Montgomery, Alabama, then up to Hotlanta. Wow. Choo Choo being Chattanooga, for those that aren't familiar with the song. The Chattanooga Choo Choo. And yeah, we had a jaw-dropping event here just a few moments before you all joined us. The weather at Monterey. Let me pull up the ATIS. This is 43 minutes old, so we'll go with this. But let's click METAR. 4-mile visibility, broken 800. 8 hours, 44 minutes ago. So I'm not really sure how Say Intentions is doing what it's doing, but I'm not familiar with it. We're going to plan to land a runway 12 with the RNIP. And conversationally, if y'all don't follow U.S. sporting news, today was one of those few days where I'm not controlling a position but flying. I see nothing wrong with that. But I do know you do like to control, so it's awesome. But we were chatting about a sporting event. The Cardinal Cub game, I believe it was yesterday. And the interesting delay they had in game for fog. They could not see the ball. And I'm trying to remember if ever I've heard of that delay in game. I've heard of rain, thunderstorms, snow, hail, probably, well, yeah, tornadoes, because we had a couple games way back in the early 2000s where tornadoes were close by, but never for fog, which is an amazing thing considering many of the rain delays could easily lead into fog. So yeah, pretty interesting that the game was delayed. I forget for how long, but yeah, that's a new one. Wrigley Field. Actually, I'm kind of shocked it hasn't happened, unless St. Louis just doesn't see the kind of fog we see where I live, because boy, we really sock in sometimes, and the airlines divert to their alternates because they can't get in. So, but yeah, a delay for fog. All right, well, Stu 222, thanks for the raid. Enjoy the training session. getting us another controller, and we'll chat with you later. Thank you, sir, and thank you for the raid. All right, we are crossing the border. All right, get your passports in order. We'll be on the ground in about, oh, what is it saying? 14 minutes. And I left mine on the kitchen sink back in Fort Worth. All right. Did you get my... You forgot it too. Well, you know, Mexico's gonna enjoy us. They're like the prisons here in the United States with cable TV, weightlifting equipment, and a full collegiate library, right? No? Oh, dang it. All right, well, time to get serious because top of descent, I think, just went by. 19 miles. Good deal. Let's see. Oh, what do we want to descend down to on the ITPIS 1 Alpha? Okay, initial to 17,000. So we'll get that set up. All right, there are a couple of ways to get this plane to descend. One, obviously, just wait to top of descent, and it will initiate the descent. But if, say, ATC, that, you know, that STW222 comes in and says, descend now to flight level 170. Okay, what you can do is pull up your box, go to descent, click descend now. Or, okay, in this plane, you can't do what you can in the 767, the cousin, bigger brother, however you want to look at it, and click altitude constraint, I think it is, and descend that way. So you have this way or waiting for it. So we'll just go descend now. The aircraft is currently not moving yet. There, she's starting down. Down, down, down. And it's going to be a nice gradual descent till it reaches the... I'm jumping right back in my jet once they mention jail. Got enough fuel to get back across the border, huh? Don't do too many Cobra maneuvers. All right, where are we? That's 17,000 by VETNU. Okay, so as soon as we make the turn in the arrival. Oh. Okay, we got a good descent going, so let's get up here. All right, recall, air auto brake. We're gonna, what kind of runway we landing on? 9,800 feet. I think I'm gonna default to 3. Let's see what SimBrief though tells us. Yeah, that'll get us off by about Echo. Okay, that'll work. And then we can make the long taxi to the Kilo apron. All right, now's a good time, folks, if you want to put a prediction in to see how well Flying with Mike does on the landing rate. Oh, a couple of predictions came in there. Wow. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and call us 10 minutes out. And finish up this checklist. All right. All right, transition level. That's a little different. I think it's 19,000 actually here. 19.5. Yep. Most of North America is 18,000 or higher, or 18,000 for the transition. Mexico, because of the higher terrain, is actually 19,500. So that's when you should be setting your altimeters to the actual setting. And trust me, there are in places in Europe where, you know, you're at 4,000 or 5,000 feet for that transition level. They watch you because I switched it. I think it's 7,000 or 8,000. Goes, don't switch it yet. So the controllers are actually able to watch and well, they see your change in altitude. So it's nothing like, oh my, super secret stuff. No, it's just they see the change in your altitude. Okay. All right, well, there is absolutely nothing showing up on NavGraph radar and VATSIM. Well, actually, south of us, there is, well, actually, wait a minute. We'll see what happens here. VATSIM radar actually has some stuff in between where, when we go downwind. So I'm not seeing it on radar yet, if we'll even see it. This has been one of the little disappointing things with Laminar for me is the weather radars. But what I'm showing on VATSIM radar is not showing up on NavGraph charts. So is it really there? Just like the tree falls in the woods and you didn't hear it. Did it really fall? I mean, technically I could see where the blips could be, but it's just not showing up. Let's check one last tool. It's not showing up here either, and I've learned if it's not here, it's not on my scope. So hopefully they get all of any bugs or whatever worked out. Whatever the cause is. All right, we're on the approach. All right, we got to be max 280. All right, looks like it's doing that pretty decently. All righty. And we just crossed the, so it's 2998. But my guess is if it was going to paint anything, it's right here. Okay, altitude alert. We're going to carry 17,000 all the way down to Agmum and then begin descending. Where is the next one? Looks like 4,800 feet at Tashna, the initial to the approach. Again, if you're new to the channel, little to no visibility for me. Does that mean we could not see runways? But you landed. Okay, cool. But if you're new to the channel, like the content, we'd love for you to hit the follow button here on Twitch. Over on YouTube, if you're catching us there, hit that subscribe button. You can see about short final. Oh, BKB. This is gonna be fun. And that's what I've run into with this airport the last and only other time I've been here. I was socked in all the way in. And I shouldn't have been. But if it is going off the METAR that's some 9 hours old, then yeah, it could very well. And why I may not be seeing my radar returns. All right, well, we'll work with it. By the way, the old METAR, if for those curious, winds 090 at 5, 4-mile visibility, broken at 800, 25 and 23 for temperatures, which is a potential for fog, although the wind may keep it up. And their altimeter 3002, 9 hours and a minute old. So may have to do, as Sergeant Nash said, switch to VFR while landing so I could figure out where the runway was. Let me see something here. Let me bring the map up. All right, we're going to encounter, okay, we're showing broken 3,100 feet, 10-mile visibility, so we'll see how we do here. But still, no, the range should be right in here and right here, if VATSIM radar is correct. All right, I'm going to go ahead, set us to 9,000. All right, now that looks interesting. Oh, no, okay, it's north of it or south of it. Okay, max speed. All right. Kind of hold a little here. Okay, whatever I've done has seemed to put the blips up there. So I will try that next time. Okay, there's 15. All right, VREF, let's get that installed. 126, okay, 125. Okay, we'll go with 130. All right, well, we're gonna find out, Sergeant Yash. We're just working our way in. Oh, we ought to be able to see the airport over there. Well, maybe. Who put this thunderstorm in the way? Oh, well. Airport somewhere over there. Somewhere over the rainbow. Seeing the same as you. Okay, cool. All right, we just passed, so now we can start again down. Okay, we are just about to the point where we're going to need some flaps. Okay, 200 at MY 600. Monterrey VOR 1470. 13 miles away. It's on VOR 2. Going for flaps 10. And we're going to slow to 160 off this. Okay, what the radar is showing ahead of us, I see nothing. Although I see a whole bunch of ickiness that way. And that is an official weather term, icky. Oh, that's always nice. Okay, direct. Did something disconnect? Well, I'm trying to figure out why the autopilot flew past the last fix. Monterrey international traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, Tasha initial fix inbound for landing. think I see the airport. That might be the runway. We'll take the approach. Okay. Okay, flaps full, speed brakes in, and 3 green. And Monterrey international traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, approximately 5-mile final for runway 12. I saw that there, Sergeant Yash. Yeah, it's not too bad. We had turned the weather radar off. It was just too cluttered. All right, we're getting in there. We're about 3 miles. Landing. Don't get me to admit to a stable approach, because it's not.
Sink rate. Pull up. Pull up. Pull
50,
up.
40, 30, 20, 10.
That felt like a hard landing. 666. Not good. Desktop Pilot Society won the predictions. And Monterrey traffic, FedEx 811 heavy off 12 to the FedEx ramp. All right. Oh, that's why it was so bad. I couldn't see it. The lights weren't on. It was only that. Oh, somebody's behind us. Must not be happy with me being, he was on Unicom, I'll bet, and I was on common traffic like you're supposed to be. All right, so we go all the way down to the north end. What are my warnings? Autopilot FMC. Well, it looks like another Aero Mexico came up 935. Actually, they do use CTAF. It's no longer on the NOTAMs on the login sheet, but Mexico, Caribbean, Canada, and North America started it. I think I passed your position. I'm just headed down to the cargo area. Kilo apron. Yeah, most airports, they don't even use it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But that way, they're going to find out I keep coming in. I don't go around because you're on the runway. I'm one of those kind of pilots. All right, now I'm kind of curious. I don't think my taxiway was it extended? Is extending to Kilo. So I think we have to turn here at Alpha 2. Yeah, I had a VATSIM. I'm not sure if he was a supervisor or what into came on an approach to Chicago saying I wasn't on CTAF early enough. And I'm like, I don't have to be on it till within 5 miles of the airport or hand it off by center, which center had not done because there was no center. Obviously, otherwise I'd have been on the center channel. So, yeah. And I told him, I said, why are you on my case? Half these guys will never get on CTAF. He stopped talking to me then. All right, yeah, the Kilo ramp isn't modeled. That's okay. We'll just take this last one and call it FedEx. All right, let's call it. All right, call it what it was. A great flight from Fort Worth to Monterrey. See who's. All right, let's finish this up. I know I needed to be doing some things while I taxied. And we got the auto brakes, radars off, flight directors. We didn't get those turned off yet. Stabilizer trim, I think, is going to 4 units. Maybe not. Let me try something here. Nope, my trim is broke. Let's try one other area. Nope, it's not working there either. Okay, well, trim is stuck at 7. That's why we had so much trouble. Okay. Okay, at the gate, brake set, transponder going to standby. And a poo is on, bleeds coming on. And cabin differential looks good. And we're shutting it down. Okay, the APU gen's on. Hydraulic panel set fuel pumps will be turned off here a moment. Well, we'll go ahead and get them now. And weather radar's off. Welcome to Monterrey. All right, time to see what kind of damage we did to FedEx Express Virtual. No, I know that's not what it logged. It got 600 feet a minute as well. All right, let's just verify all of this over there real quick. Where's my logbook? All right, landing, 667 feet a minute. Hard landing check needs to be done. All right, let's get the plane unloading. So we need the chocks this time, the staircase, the loader, and the LSU. We'll go ahead and put the GPU available. Why not? And click. Oh, wait. Don't do this on the passenger version. All the doors on the passenger level will open up. You probably only will need the left front or possibly, no, that should be it. And your forward, aft, and so forth. So be careful with that. All right, so now we'll go back to ground and click that. And we're unloading. And folks, that was a fun flight. Oh, I got lights still on. I thought I turned them all off. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Let's go ahead and kill the beacon. Kill the beacon. All right, so let's take a look at what Saitek recorded. And then we'll kind of wrap this up and let you all back to the end of your weekends and all the fun that goes with that, getting ready to go back to work for most of us on Monday. At least here in St. Louis, I can say it's not supposed to be as hot. Don't get me wrong, it's summer, it's always hot. So landing rate 666, 128 knots, 1.1 G. Not bad in my book. Sergeant Yash, welcome in. Thank you for a great time on the flight. And how bad was it? Just short, 5,000, just short of 1,500 feet down the runway. Looks like right on the center line. So not a bad deal whatsoever. Just hard on the struts and all. All right, well, we're going to call it. I hope y'all enjoyed again. Next flight scheduled next Saturday at 9 o'clock as of this time. Who knows? Things could change. You never know. So for now, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for the raids, STW222. And thank you all, Sergeant Yash and Pratt PT6 for the conversation. And I hope you all enjoy. Have a great week. And God bless. We'll see you next Saturday for sure.